What's good, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 4 things I wish I knew before working at Amazon. Now, before I get started with this, I have started posting more on my Instagram. I've made it a goal this year to start posting more on Instagram. You can check out these posts right here. Go ahead and check those out. Go ahead and follow me down in the link in the description below on Instagram, or you can just search up at Nathan Padilla on Instagram. No spaces, no nothing. It's just my name, Nathan Padilla. You can go ahead and search that up on Instagram. Go ahead and follow me on there, please. I'm going to be uploading so much more on there this year, so go ahead and check that out. With that being said, let's get straight into number 1 on things that I wish I knew before I started working at Amazon, and that's that I wish I knew what VTO, VET, MET, I wish I knew what all those things were. In training or during the training videos, at least I don't remember this happening. Nobody ever explained to me about VTO. Nobody ever talked about voluntary time off. They never said, hey, voluntary time off is where you could just go home pretty much for free without taking any time. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know what happened. And I do remember, like, on my 3rd week or something like that, very early on in my Amazon career, maybe it was my 2nd or 3rd week, I do remember being offered VTO, and I was just like, wait, what? What's VTO? Is that paid? And somebody had to sit down and explain to me, like, basically what VTO was and pretty much say that it's unpaid. We offer it when it's slow. And I had no idea about this, and I wish that somebody would have explained to me early on, or even before I started working at Amazon, what VTO was. Same with VET. I had no idea what VET was. I had to have that explained as well. You know, the voluntary extra time, picking up shifts and stuff like that. I wish I knew what that was. I wish I knew what MET was. I kind of wish I knew more about that as well. Just all the acronyms, really. I really wish I knew what any of the acronyms were. Again, nobody sat down and explained it. Nobody talked about it. You kind of just had to figure it out on your own, and that sucks. So I do wish I knew what those were. Number 2 on what I wish I knew before working at Amazon is I wish I knew that rates were pretty much irrelevant and did not matter at all. So when you first start working at Amazon, and anybody who's new at Amazon right now will know that the learning ambassadors will get on your ass. At least most of them will get on your ass really, really hard and tell you you need to hit rates. And every time you're not hitting rate, they're going to be like, why aren't you hitting rates? Let me see what you're doing. How can we improve? How can you become faster? And they stress you out so much about rates, especially during your first week or 2 and pretty much your entire first few months at Amazon. They stress the hell out of you about rates. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Hitting rates doesn't matter because nothing's going to happen if you don't hit rates. As long as you don't fall below the bottom 5% mark of the employees on your team, you're okay. You're never going to get written up. You might get talked to by a learning ambassador and they might want to watch you stow for a little bit or pack or whatever you're doing, but you're not going to get written up for that. And I wish I knew when I started working at Amazon that the rates really didn't matter, because I remember during my first few weeks and my first couple of months, I used to stress so much about rate. And I used to think, man, like, I'm not good at this. I'm going to end up losing my job, or I should just quit before I do get fired because I suck at this really bad. I'm not fast paced enough for Amazon. I need to get out of here right now because this is way too stressful and I'm just not going to make it. I'm not going to survive. That was literally my thought for the first couple of months at Amazon. And I used to be so stressed about it. And I even see this all the time in my comments down below as well, where people are always stressed about rates and they always ask me, how can I improve my rates? I'm not doing good. And the learning ambassador keeps telling me I'm slow. And a lot of people in the comments are just like, I think I'm going to quit because I just can't meet rates, and it's stressing me the hell out. And I always tell them, rates don't matter as long as you're not falling below the bottom 5%, meaning you're not the worst 5% on your team. As long as you are in the top 95% of your team, you're perfectly fine. The only people that ever get written up is the bottom 5% people, and I wish I knew that before working at Amazon because I spent so much time in the beginning stressing, and I know a lot of people out there, especially a lot of new employees, do the same as well, and it sucks. Number 3 on things that I wish I knew before working on Amazon, I wish I knew how serious managers take TOT and break compliance. For those who don't know what TOT is, it is time off task. You're limited to 30 minutes per day of not working. So if you're going to the restroom for like 10 minutes, that's going to be 10 minutes of TOT. I wish I knew how serious managers took this rule, especially when I first started working here. Now, admittedly, over the past few months, a lot of the old managers and all of the people like from the first year and a half of working at Amazon, all those managers that I had have kind of started to shift out. I've seen a lot of them, I think a lot of them quit. A lot of them started transferring to other facilities. So a lot of my old managers have left, and all of the new managers, they're very chill, relaxed. They don't really care about TOT pretty much at all, honestly. So I will say this might not really apply for all facilities, especially not anymore where Amazon is starting to move away from TOT and break compliance as well. Break compliance is another big thing where if you show up 1 minute late to work after your second break, you can get written up for that. I wish I knew how serious managers took these things beforehand because I have gotten written up. I remember getting written up for break compliance like on my second week, I think, or something around that time. It was like my second or third week. I came back, I think a couple seconds late for my second break, and my manager wrote me up. So it only took 3 weeks, or I think it was 2 weeks, honestly. I think it only took 2 weeks for me to get written up at Amazon for the first time. And I do believe that it was a very unfair write-up at the time. Honestly, I had no idea about this stuff, and I had heard things about TOT. I had heard like jokes about Amazon employees having to pee in bottles just to avoid TOT, but I never really knew how serious it was until I actually started working at Amazon. And at least in my experience with my managers for the first few months, especially for like the first year, I had a lot of different managers within that time period because managers were quitting, managers were moving to different positions, and during that time I got written up for I think TOT like once or twice. I think both of them were pretty bullcrap. One time the manager wrote me up for like almost 200 minutes of TOT. It was pretty bullcrap. I don't know why she did that, but I know she used to count your first break as all TOT, so that was like 30 minutes already. She counted the second break as TOT, so that was an hour of TOT. She used to do it every day, and she used to hand out so many TOT forms. I wish I knew how serious Amazon took it. I don't even know if I would have worked here if I would have known how serious Amazon took it and how strict they were with their bathroom breaks and how basically annoying they were with you taking breaks or coming back late from break or anything like that. They were extremely strict during my first year. Again, like I've said, it's kind of relaxed, and I feel like at all facilities it's pretty much relaxed a lot more now. So I don't think that this really applies to facilities nowadays, but at least back in the beginning when I first started working at Amazon, I wish I knew how serious that this was and that they basically don't want you to use the restroom. And for the last one, number 4, for the final thing that I wish I knew before working at Amazon, I wish I knew the severity of MET. I had heard of MET. I knew that Amazon did have mandatory extra time. It does say that in your video training. I don't know if it says that now because I think they've changed the video training, but back in the day, especially when I got hired back during the middle, like it was like kind of during the beginning of COVID, we did nothing but video training online, and during that time they did teach you about mandatory overtime. I don't know if they do anymore, but I wish I knew how often it would be. I didn't know that we'd be working mandatory overtime so often. Especially for the past couple of months, MET has been extremely frequent for us since around October, November time. A lot of us Amazon employees are all around the country have been getting nothing but stupid amounts of MET. And honestly, I wish I would have known how crazy it was so I could have prepared for it. I wish I would have known that I would have worked like 4 or 5 months out of my entire year at Amazon working mandatory time and basically working 50-hour weeks as a regular schedule. I wish I would have known these things. I might not have applied at Amazon if I would have known how often they call MET and how frequently it is. Again, these are just things that I wish I knew, but that's pretty much it. Those are just some of the things that I wish I knew before working at Amazon. If there's anything you wish you knew before working at Amazon, go ahead and comment down below. And subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you enjoy Amazon content. I do a bunch of discussions about Amazon. I do tips, discussion videos, all kind of things like that. All content Amazon related. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. And yeah, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, go ahead and check me out. Link in the description below. I'm going to be posting on there a lot more often, so go ahead and check that out. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I love you all.